Ladies, I have got a PowerPoint to share with you. As we go through that, I will keep coming off it to show you how in practice you can put some of these great outfits together. It's an interactive session, so if you have a question during the session, please do ask me. You know, that's what we're all here for. That's why we love doing these sessions, because we all learn something from them. So please do ask me if you have any questions as we go through. The rail I have with me today, I am really excited. All of it is from, apart from the things from my own wardrobe, which I want to show you, is pre-loved from the lady that I used last time, which is Liz from Looking Stylish Pre-Loved. I know that Miranda has been to see her before as well, and April's had some bits from her too. So all of these gorgeous items are all pre-loved, but are such amazing conditions, such amazing items. And I want to show you how you can be sustainable. Don't get me wrong, you can buy new. I'm very happy with people buying new, as long as you get rid of things you're not using, and you know, let somebody else find some joy in them as well. So without further ado, let's get started. Oops, bear with me 1 second. You know what it's like, it loses where you want to be. I shall just get my PowerPoint open. Bear with. Okay then, so let me just move on. Right, now we can hopefully get going. There we are. Oops, we don't want that slide. That's just for me. So moving on, here we go. Can everybody see that now? Yeah. Everybody happy? Okay, so we're not talking about disposable fashion. This age that we're living in now, one of the important things we want to think about is having forever fashion. So the things that you buy, you don't necessarily want to just last you one season, one year. Let's be thinking about buying things that are going to last us for a long time, that we're going to love, that are going to earn their place in our wardrobe. April knows I use that phrase quite a lot. Your clothes should be earning their place. They shouldn't just be sitting there for that one day every 2 years that you can wear them. They need to be ready for lots of different events. They need to be, you know, the things you spend your money on, why aren't you wearing them? You know, you might spend a lot of money on an outfit for a wedding, for example, and then you never ever wear it again, but then you buy something cheap that you wear every single day of the year. So be thinking about what's in your wardrobe and how you're going to be wearing it. So I work with Colour Me Beautiful. As you know, I'm not a franchise. I am Fab Image is my business, but Colour Me Beautiful, I get my drapes, I use their system, and I did my training with them. But we're also a really lovely community of image consultants, and we all have exactly the same ethos. And what we advocate is to invest wisely, buy less, but wear more. So it's not about having a wardrobe full of loads and loads of clothes. It's about everything in there, you know, that you love and you want to take out and wear. So we can go back in time to these seasonal updates in 2018, 19, 2020, you know, a lot of the stuff there you could absolutely wear again right now. So everything that we go through today, I don't think I'm showing you just for this season. You know, we're moving, these will stay in your wardrobe and you will love them forever. However, you know, sometimes we do get a bit bored and we want something new and we want to lift ourselves and feel fabulous. But let's dig through our wardrobes first and then have a look and see what we can add to lift the rest of the wardrobe. So I want to start off by talking about being true to yourself. If you're true to yourself, your mistakes in the wardrobe become a thing to the past. Now, when we look at these, are all our new fabulous images at Colour Me Beautiful. So we really love them. Now, they're based on lots of people that you may think, oh, I recognise, I think I know who that's based on. But actually, you know, every one of us has a different style personality. There isn't just one. I've got bits of about 3 different style personalities in me. And sometimes I even like to experiment even more. But there will be one that is your dominant style personality. What happens if you have items that aren't in your style personality in your wardrobe? You're going to take them out and you're going to go, I don't think I'll wear that today. And you just don't know why you don't particularly like it. It's your colour, it fits you, doesn't make your bum look big. And you're like, well, I don't know why I don't wear it. And it's probably because it's not in your style personality. So there are 6 style personalities. Let's see if you can see yourself in any of these. The first is the creative lady. So the creative lady likes to collect lots of items, is very eclectic in her choices. She'll put pieces together that just don't really go with each other, but sometimes they just kind of work. You know, she will just put some things together that we mere mortals would go, oh my goodness, look what she's done. I could never do that. But she doesn't really mind too much. In fact, I see probably less creatives in my studio than the other style personalities. However, some people come with another style personality who used to be creative, who want to go back to it. The patterns that they wear will be unusual, will be really vibrant, mix and match, and we'll probably have a lot of colour in them. Will be brocade and velvet and all these fabulous, lots of embellishment on their items. So as we go through, at the end of this bit, I'm going to ask you if you saw yourself in any of these style personalities. The next one is the dramatic. Anybody know anyone who's a dramatic? I think you do. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so I'm a dramatic. I love to be noticed and make an entrance. Anybody that knows me kind of knows that. I'm not known for being shy with what I choose to wear. I love colour. I like it to be sort of fairly matching though, as opposed to the creative lady who just puts a mishmash of colours together. But I love something to be bold and dramatic. As we get on to colours later, I'm a soft. So sometimes being a dramatic when you're a soft can be a bit of a challenge. So what I like to do is, instead of wear my soft palette in a tone on tone way, I wear it more in contrast. So there's lots of ways you can play with your palette and play with your style personality. So yeah, the dramatic lady likes to have the wow factor, and she loves people to say something about what she's wearing. Ladies, if you know me, if you ever say to me, I love that dress on you, oh my goodness, I love your handbag, look at your shoes, I'm in my element. So please feel free to compliment away. So that's the dramatic lady. So next we have the romantic. If you're a romantic, you love a floaty material, you love floral patterns, you love lace and sparkle and intricate details. Nothing exactly over the top. It's just a very feminine look. But you can create a lot of new looks. It's very easy to get into, you know, a routine with your styling, but actually you can still create lots of new looks within your style personality. The next style personality is the classic. So the classic is traditional. So if we think of the Queen wears shoes, jacket, coat, dress, hat, gloves, handbag. She doesn't really vary from that. She doesn't really vary from the style, but she changes the texture of her outfits, the color of her outfits. She might wear a patterned dress under a plain jacket. She will change all these things. Her hats are always so beautiful, but she still sticks to her own safe uniform. She always looks amazing, but she doesn't experiment very much. But that doesn't mean that you can't. You know, you don't, a classic will actually always want matching shoes and handbag. But actually, why not change that? Stick within your neutral palette, but you can change that up. You can switch things up even as a classic. Now, the next style personality that I'm going to show you is probably 80% of people that come to me have this style personality. But actually, I would say out of that 80%, 50 to 60% are actually wanting to come out and blossom into one of these other style personalities. This is the natural. The natural is an unfussy look. Your wardrobe may appear a little bit cluttered. I'm looking at Kim's smirking at me here. So your wardrobe may look a bit disorganized. You'll often wear whatever is just there, maybe on the chair in your bedroom every morning. Comfortable. practical. Probably have fewer clothes because you just like wear them on repeat. And you may need to invest in a few pieces to up your game with your style and your style states. There is nothing that says the natural style personality is boring. It is absolutely not boring. It's a gorgeous style personality. However, sometimes people want to just elevate it a bit, but they just don't know how to. A lot of it is also lifestyle led. If you're just working from home all the time, like Kim is, you know, or if you have a child that you're running around after, or Hillary, who's a PT, you know, you're probably living in gym gear a lot, then think about outside of that, what you can wear and how you can elevate your look. This last look is the city chic. The city chic lady absolutely loves that. She will elevate the look from the natural. It's a never out of fashion look. So you will never, everything in your wardrobe will last years. You'll bring out a handbag that you bought 5 years ago and it looks absolutely bang on style, bang on trend, and you can use it anytime. Probably, again, a smaller wardrobe, but everything will go together, and accessories play a high part in this. More of a tone-on-tone look than the dramatic who likes that big, bold look. It's a bit more understated than that. So not a lot of print going on with the city chic, and lots of things that you just collect over the years and, you know, love to wear. And April, you have a little bit of this in you as well, because you buy some really great pieces that you bring out again and again. So before we go on to colours, I'm going to stop sharing. So what did everybody see? Did anybody see themselves in that? April, what did you see? And then Jazz.
Oh, I know I'm a dramatic. Thank you for saying I've got the city chic edge to it, but I definitely saw myself. I saw a lot of my friends and family as well. I mean,
yes.
The romantic. Yeah, I could go on and on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jazz, did you see yourself in that?
I've got stuck in the natural.
Right.
Because I work with people, I wear a uniform as well. I wear scrubs or tunics. And I think over the last few years, I've just become wanting to be comfortable.
Yeah.
But, and you know this, there is a romantic in me.
There's so
I think it's there, especially with my daughter's wedding, you know, the sari, it was soft and floaty. And I felt great in that, but I can't wear a sari to everything. So, but I do think there is a little bit of that, something soft and feminine I'm good with. I'd love to be city chic, but I don't think I'll ever get there. I think.
But actually, I definitely think, and to develop, that's what happens when with my style and image consultations, when people come to me for those, we develop that side of you. I do a bit of a questionnaire and I talk to you, and that's when we find out, you know, where you really want to go, how you can wear your colors if you've had your colors done. And so many people, as I said, come to me as a natural, but really want to just elevate their game. They're a bit lost in being a natural, exactly as you said, Jazz. Thank you. So, Kim, do I need to ask where you felt you fit?
No, all my nice stuff. I spent years working in London and trying to be city chic and nothing fitting me properly and everything all being rubbish. And then I watched that and I would have been trying to get there a few years back. And now I'm looking at romantic going, my dress section is all floral prints. Floaty stuff fits me way better. So I'm like, oh, maybe I've been chasing the wrong thing for.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And we change us because, you know, I often speak to people who might be retired or people who are going into work from having children. Every time of our life, we end up going through different stages of this. I've always worked in offices, as you know, coming up through my life. And I was always the classic. I was always a suit. You know, my shoes had to match my handbag. In fact, my nail varnish had to match my lipstick. I used to work in Slough and I'd have to travel there from Reading every day. My ex-husband would drive. And on that journey, I would change my nail varnish every single morning to match what I was doing and my lipstick. Oh my God, I don't know how I bothered with that. But I did, because I was a classic and everything had to be just so. Now, classics out the window, dramatics in, but there's still a little bit of an element of the classic in me that I just can't get rid of. So anybody else? Jane, Terry. Jane, then Terry.
Me, I'm definitely a natural, because it's sort of easier, really, isn't it, just to put some plain stuff on and yeah. But I do like the idea again, similar thing to what Kim said about, actually, I bought a couple of dresses recently and they've all been floral, which is very strange.
Lovely.
My shirt I've got on today is patterned, which isn't me normally. So trying just not to do the blocks of colour, but, you know, have a bit more interest, really.
Love that. Thank you, Jane. Terry.
Yeah, I'm so pleased you said that you're not just one, that you have a dominant one.
Oh,
because I really feel like I just play, not in all of them, definitely, but I feel like I play in quite a lot of them, depending on the day, depending on how I feel. So I'm not sure what's my main dominant. You probably know me well enough to know better than me.
I think also you have lots of different lives in your life, and we all do. So, you know, Terry, you have, you know, quite an eclectic look. You know, you have quite a creative look. But then when you're at home, it's more of a natural look. When you're being mum, it's more of a natural look. And then you'll come to networking, and that's probably more of a dramatic look that you sometimes have. So yeah, I think that you are quite blended, and also maybe your accessories, your boots, your jackets, etc., are quite creative. But you still have fairly classic in that style of, you would wear a jacket and a dress and a pair of boots, but the boots will be a bit zany, or, you know, it will not match. So you'll wear a classicy look, but then you'll have dramatic boots on, or DM type boots. So it changes that whole look.
So just confused.
It's not confused. It's really not confused. But that probably means that you're more of a creative, because you mix and match all of these styles together, and that's what you end up with. And so I would say that overall, you're a creative, but you're a photographer as well. You know, your creativity comes out in lots of ways.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Hilary.
Yeah, so I think definitely natural is where I sort of spend, and obviously doing personal training, I actually really love the fact that I can wear gym stuff all day.
Of course.
It's quite
simple, but that's like a uniform for you, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think now that I wear it every day, I sort of think I'd like to sort of maybe jazz it up a bit. So not necessarily going into different stuff. Well, maybe a little bit different, but I think when I was working in London and where I have to dress up, probably I'd go for like more of a classic look, but not necessarily too. I've never really bothered with handbags. I've had like a functional bag, and the shoes would match the outfit. But
so there's always been an element of natural there, then.
Yes, yeah. Apart from one day when I went to work in a black and a blue shoe, which was the same style but different colours. I didn't notice till about an hour in. I thought, oh no. Anyway.
It happens a lot, actually, especially when you've got April's nodding, because she's got a black coat and a navy coat, which are the same. And
yeah, these were the same.
Times I put her in it. It's gone, hang on, they're wrong colours. Lovely. And that's what you want to think about. This is how you start to really build your own personal style. And why, when you're looking through your wardrobe and there are things in there and you think, I don't want to wear it, think about it and think, is it actually in your style personality? Because it might not be. I'll move on, but does anybody else want to tell us anything about their style personality first? Or
can you help us? Can you tell me what you think mine is? Because I think I slipped into classic when I saw you, but I am actually quietly quite bubbly, if you know what I mean.
You're not quietly bubbly, Valerie. You're completely bubbly and fabulous. Well, do you know what? I do think, yes, but I do think there is an edge of dramatic potentially in you. And, you know, looking at the size of your necklace, for example, and I bet you'd love it.
I've got that one especially for you.
I love it, thank you. But I bet you'd love it if we all went, oh my goodness, I love your necklace, Valerie. And
oh yeah, I mean, I like you. I quite like to walk in and they go, wow.
Yes,
absolutely. But I think because I've slipped into being in the 70s, I'm a little bit worried about.
Yes, 70 is the new 50, Val. Don't you worry about it. So yeah, and we talk about this, as I said, in my style and image consultations, and I know that April's had one and Miranda's had one, and so you know it does really do that with you. It really helps you find who you are and who you want to be. But
and you won't make mistakes.
Absolutely, Val. Within your lifestyle, within your lifestyle, that's what it is. Okay, now we're going to move on and talk about the colours for the season. So what we do is we look at all the colours that are coming out in the next season, and we put them into your colour palettes. Some of them overlap, obviously, because some colours have different elements of colour to them. So let's get going. The first one, or the first two, are the lights and the deeps. Now, light ladies have sort of a delicateness to them. Blonde hair, pale complexion, light eyes, lighter eyebrows quite often. And they're going to wear colours from the lighter end of the scale. So this season in colours for the light are periwinkle, primrose, pastel pink, taupe, I never know how to say that, light aqua, and soft white. Soft white is a beautiful colour. So that is what's going to be in the shops for the next season in the light palette. Now, deep ladies are the opposite end of the scale to the light, and deep ladies have dark hair and dark eyes. Doesn't matter if they have a light complexion or a dark complexion, but if you have dark hair and dark eyes, you come under the deep category. In the deeps colours for this season, we have teal, chocolate, stone, true red, which I adore, lime, and true blue. So lots of really beautiful colours. And just because it's deep doesn't mean they're dark. It just means they're the same colours, but they're the darker end of the scale. So looking at the catwalk and looking at influencers who clothing companies take their ideas from, these are the sort of colours that we're going to be wearing in the next two seasons, the next 6 months. So the next two colour palettes are warm and cool. So we're looking at the undertone of colour here. Warms have a golden glow to them. Warms have anything from strawberry blonde to full auburn hair, usually green, blue, brown eyes, and may have freckles, or may be tanned, or may just have a sort of a bit of an olive skin. All sorts of combinations for the warm. And this season, we look at people like the gorgeous Julianne Moore there. The colours are daffodil, terracotta, lime again, chocolate again, taupe, and teal. Such a beautiful colour palette for the warms. Obviously, you've got all your other colours you can wear as well, but these are the ones for the next 6 months that will be in the shops if you're wanting to update anything. So then we go on to the cools. The cool ladies have anything from white hair, maybe grey hair, maybe black blue hair. You know, it doesn't really matter too much. Maybe a very ash blonde, but very blue eyes and a blue undertone to their skin. So just an overall coolness. So the colours that Judi Dench and the cools will be wearing this season are cornflower blue, light aqua, charcoal, hot pink, periwinkle, and light teal. Lots and lots of fabulous colours there. So the last two colour palettes in the Colour Me Beautiful colour theory are the clear and the soft. So now we're looking at the clarity of colour. The clear ladies have dark hair but very bright eyes. So there's a lot of contrast between the white of their eyes and the colour in there. You can see the contrast between the colour of their hair and their skin tone and their eyes. Whereas the soft, I come under the soft category, is blonde hair, quite often dyed blonde hair, but more of a muted look. So if you look at me, there's not a lot of difference between my hair colour, my skin tone. My eyes are brown, so I do have a bit of contrast there. I have to dye my eyebrows. So as a soft, we need to bring a lot of contrast into it. That's why I wear makeup. You find lots of soft ladies wear makeup. Lots of clear ladies don't, because they've already got such gorgeous contrast. So this year, the clear ladies like Sophie Ellis-Bextor will be wearing a true red, lemon yellow, bright periwinkle, royal blue, blush pink, and light grey. And the soft ladies like Kate Winslet there will be wearing taupe, mint, verbena. Gosh, that doesn't come up very often. Every year I give people's colours in the soft palette and verbena's in there, and it very rarely comes up, so grab it while you can. Periwinkle, teal, and buttermilk. Now, ladies, I'm going to be sending in the post each one of these, which has all those fabulous colours on. And on the other side, it also tells you about the trends that we're going to talk about. So make notes, but buying a whole new wardrobe, unless you particularly want to, I'm not going to stop you. Lots of romantics in the room. Romantics love the whole shopping experience. So if you do, I'm not going to stop you. So first trend is pleats. Not everybody loves a pleat, but I think they are fabulous. When you buy a pleat, think about your hips. With me, I have to think about my tummy, that I don't have it sort of popping over and then the pleats coming down. The dresses with the pleats at the bottom are a really lovely way of adapting those. They don't, when you have the dress, it's a bit more of a sheer line coming down because you haven't got that waistband. So without that waistband, it's a much sleeker look. So if you're like me and you do have a tummy or you have hips, then maybe think about doing that. But the lovely thing with these is that you can dress them up or dress them down. If you've got a pleated skirt, you can dress it up with a lovely blouse and heels for the evening, or you can put a jumper on, trainers, crossbody bag, wear it shopping, wear it to the, wherever you're going, a pub on Friday night. You can really adapt a pleated skirt to so many ways. Also think about the length. If it's too long and you can't see any of your ankle, it will look a little bit like a ballet tutu. You just need to be a little bit careful that you can still see some ankle underneath it, because some of these skirts can come out quite long. But actually, it's a really lovely trend to try. April has an adaptation of that, don't you, April? But you have a tulle skirt. So it's more of a sort of a lacy type. I'm sure you know what tulle is. April, that looks lovely, doesn't it? And you've worn that with a jumper or dressed it up?
Yes, definitely. You can wear it with a jumper or a t-shirt even, but also with a sparkly top.
Yeah, a sparkly top, or you've got some fabulous boots that you wear with yours as well. So yeah, try them, have a look at how long they are, but they're great fun and a really nice addition. And if you're a natural, there's lots of movement in it. A natural wants things that don't constrict or dig in. If you've got one of these, you can, then you're not going to have to worry about walking up steps like you do in a pencil skirt with just tottering your legs up as you go. So lots of freedom in one of these skirts. So that's the first style for the new season.
Sarah, sorry, just quickly, what about shorter pleat? Because I'd be more likely to wear a shorter pleated skirt rather than a flowy one. Is that
no problem with that at all? Absolutely lovely. Again, just think about the length, where the length ends up. Make sure it's on, I call it your sweet spot. So if you look at your legs, you will always have one area that's slimmer than the rest, and that's where you really want things to end. You've usually got a couple of areas, but if you've got, so I don't know about you, Hilary, but lots of PTs and lots of women who work out a lot. In fact, the lady that came to me yesterday, who's also a ballroom dancer and a Pilates teacher and a choreographer, she was quite an amazing young lady, and it's got a 2-year-old toddler, so she had quite a hectic life, and she had very big calves from the dancing. Now, if she'd have had a skirt that finished on her calves, then that's going to make her whole legs look wider all the way up and down. So we moved it higher where her skirt would finish, which went just above the knee, which took the eye away from beautifully developed calves. I'm not saying anything against it, but you just need to think about where your skirt lengths are finishing for your widest bits. Does that help? Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, right. So stripes, ladies, oh my goodness. Not that they've ever been out of fashion, but you are going to see stripes absolutely everywhere. So rules about stripes. So think about your colouring. So if you look at this gorgeous, we'll just go through several at the same time, shall we? There we go. If you look at this one at the bottom, which has got the very pale stripes, so for lights out there, that's going to be a beautiful colouring. Think about your scale. So we have 3 different scales with Colour Me Beauty. Well, in general, there's 3 different scales. There's a petite, which is usually the ladies up to about 5'2". This is about your bone structure. This is not about your dress size. You could be any size in any of these. The average is the ladies around 5'5", 5'6", and then the grande is the ladies about 5'8", 5'9", and upwards. Now, what you don't want is teeny tiny stripes on someone who's 5'9", because there's just going to be a lot of stripe there and it's just not going to work. But likewise on a petite, if you have a big stripe, it's going to drown you. So try and think about the width of the stripes that you're wearing and think about if it's going to drown you. This sea salt one is in that beautiful teal, so that's quite a nice one this season. But you know, go bright, go light, go whatever you want, but just think about the rules that you have. Let me show you a few stripy things and talk about body shape while we're doing it. So let me just change my view for a second. Okay, so body shapes. Body shapes are so not scary. People get so hung up on what body shape they are. All body shape is shoulder to hip ratio, and if you go in or out at the waist. That is as simple as they go. And nobody really fits exactly into one. I had a lady a few weeks ago who had a very curvy side to her body, a very straight side to her body. It's not wrong. We just need to decide how we get clothes that are going to work for her. That's all we needed to do. So if you're, say, a triangle, which used to be called pear shape, but we're not fruit ladies, we are shaped. So we are not soft, we are soft and fleshy, but we're not fruits. So we're going to call it a triangle, which means your hips are wider than your shoulders. You've usually got a waist. What you want to do is bring all the attention to the top half of your body. So you want the pattern, you want the color, you want the texture, all on the top half of your body. If you're an inverted triangle, so you have wider shoulders than hips. Lots of people who have done lots of gymnastics, lots of swimming in their life, they quite often have quite well developed shoulders, but some people just have a wider shoulder to hip. Then you want to have all the attention on the bottom half to even it out, because we all want this sort of figure really, don't we? If you are an oval, so an oval is basically shoulders and hips in line, but instead of going in at the waist, you go out at the waist. Now, this is not to be confused a waist and a stomach. So at a certain age, ladies' stomachs do tend to pop out. Jazz knows because she works very much with menopausal ladies, and as I am one, I know, but my waist still goes in. So don't be confused and go, oh, well, I must be an oval because I've got a tummy. It's about whether you sort of generally go in. An oval, they just need to think about buying things that hang from their shoulders rather than their stomachs. So they might have something that fits their shoulders and then drapes down, and then it gives them a much nicer shape. You don't want to follow that figure like that. Maybe you're a rectangle, and a rectangle is shoulders and hips in line, but no waist. An hourglass is shoulder and hips in line and a waist. So if you've got a waist, you want to make sure you don't have things that just hang down, and that you want to show that waist off. So you might find something which has got stripes around the middle, which is lovely because it's showing your waist. If you're a rectangle, I'll show you a fabulous dress. So, look what this dress does. Now, if you don't have much of a waist, can you see these cut shapes of the stripes coming in give you that figure? So even if you're straight here, this is going to give you a great figure. Absolutely love this dress. Look at the stripes there, but it's also got a bit of movement to it. It's got a bit of curves in it. We've got big stripes here, smaller stripes here. So it's kind of got a bit of a mixed pattern going on as well here. Ladies, just to let you know, I can't actually see you at the moment. So if you want to have a question, just shout it out, okay? It's fine. Another stripes. Oh my goodness, this dress, look how fabulous this dress is. Again, look at what it's doing. It's giving you an amazing figure. This is a Karen Millen dress. It's a medium. This is, I would say this is pretty much brand new. And as I said, this is all pre-loved. And if anybody wants to get hooked up with anything, let me know. So that, again, that would work for most body shapes. If you are an inverted triangle, then we need all the attention at the bottom. These are actually really good fun. So these are sort of cloths. These were from Phase 8. So they're really quite good fun. So you can then have those on the bottom half of your body, and then you can have something plain on the top, which is going to even your body out. If you're a triangle, then you would be looking at having the stripes on the top half of your body, and then you could have something nice and plain and simple, maybe just a pair of nice cream trousers, but you can put something lovely and bright underneath so that you're still bringing some spring colour into it. So stripes are literally everywhere. Love this little t-shirt. I would imagine this is right up your street, Kim. But look at the texture. It's got a little, can you see it's got quite a pretty bit here as well. And how about putting that over your pleated skirt? Cute outfits.
Yeah.
Shout at me. So stripes, you can use stripes in your favor so that they create great shape and do what you want to your body shape. Okay, so next trends we're moving on to are check plaid out. See what we did there? You know, anyone that's been on these season updates knows that the terrible puns in the titles of these slides. Again, I want you to think, when we're thinking about checks and plaid, I want you to think about the size of the pattern. You don't want, if you're a petite and you have a big check, mind you, we used to like big checks when we had checks, didn't we? But now when we're talking about pattern, we want to think about your scale. If you're a petite, go for a smaller check. If you're a grande, go for the larger check. Keep in proportion, balance, harmony. All those words. So it's a fun thing to use, and these will keep you going all year round as well. Any questions on checks and plaids? No. Okay. Now, columns of colour. I love a column of colour because, quite frankly, it's the easiest way to get dressed in the morning. But you can also have a couple of suits and mix and match. If you've got colours in your colour palette, they're all going to go together. So you could go for something, say this, but with maybe a shorter jacket, a trouser suit in that, a trouser suit like this, and then you can use the jacket of that with this, then you can move the trousers of that, you can use that as a whole and that as a whole. A column of colour is also very flattering. You could wear this one with some trainers, you could wear it with a crossbody bag, you could, you know, put something, just a t-shirt underneath it, or you could put a blouse with it and wear it with some heels, and like she has with a very pretty evening bag. So columns of colour, and there's going to be lots of these sort of things in the shops over the next 6 months. And also lovely colours to bring in from your colour palette. And one more thing, you can wear that over jeans, over white trousers. So you might have something that goes together, but mix and match it. Okay, well, animal print. Anybody that's ever been shopping with me knows that you're going to end up with some animal print, I'm afraid. One of the beautiful things about animal print is that it's not actually a pattern, it's a neutral. Black and white stripes is a neutral. Black and white spots is a neutral. So you can wear these, you know, with your floral skirt. You could put an animal print top and a floral skirt on, if you are that way inclined. If you're a classic, there's no way that's ever touching your body. But look at, I love this. You love this, Jules. It's slipped in there. It is an animal print, but it's kind of not an animal print as we know it.
Oh,
So cute. Oh, is that like yours, Miranda?
I want that. I've got 2 black Labradors.
And they are beautiful. You need to get to Jules.
I must get that.
It's so cute. But look at this zebra print. You know, I love this. And Miranda, you've got a colourful zebra print.
Yes, I have. This is that place you recommended.
Is that from Just Mia?
Yes, it's so wonderful.
I'm so glad. I need to get over there soon as well. I'll let you know when I go.
Okay.
But look how fabulous that is. But there is an animal print for everybody. And if you don't like it all over, then why not think about, look at the glasses there. You know, they're a tortoise shell, but they've got a bit of animal print to them. Maybe a handbag or a belt or a pair of boots, you know, depending on your style, personality, again. Really important to take that into account. I'm a dramatic, of course I'm going to love this animal print dress. But if you're more of a natural, something like this or something like this is probably going to be more in your comfort zone. We are now moving on to, oh, get knitted, ladies, get knitted. There are some beautiful light knits out there. You know what? We live in England. Well, we do all live in England. Yes, I think so. But we all live in England. there's probably 6 weeks of the year where you don't have to wear something with a sleeve. And so think about what you're wearing. Don't wear your winter woolies. Wear something that's got a bit of colour to it, a bit of brightness, something that's got maybe a lighter texture, a floatier texture. This one at the bottom, this YAS one, these ones with collars are everywhere at the moment. So if you like that, Miranda, I would stay away from anything that comes down over onto the bust area. But, you know, if it comes up here, you're fine. So do think about your colour, think about your scale. Nothing, if you're a petite, you don't want anything that's going to drown you, because you want to see you. You don't want to just see an item of clothing coming in. Lovely light knits. These longer cardigans are fabulous. You need to style them up, ladies. Longer cardigans are great, but so many people just put them on and they don't necessarily hang that well. Also think about, if you've got one, check it doesn't go out round the outside of your boobs. You know what it's like, you suddenly look down and you go,
Yeah,
that was nice.
happens to a lot of us. So do think about, if you're wearing a cardigan, make sure it does come down the middle. Jazz, a bit like you were saying, a waterfall cardigan is so flattering on a bit of a tummy, because it fits on your arms, it fits here, but then it just has that little gentle drape over your stomach if you have a little bit of a stomach. And, you know, as I said, lots of us do it at once you hit perimenopause, menopause. Not that all of you are there, my lovelies, but just a bit of warning. You will.
I'm mid-30s and I have a pot belly, so what can this mean for
Oh,
everybody?
bless you. Big it up for the big bellies.
Yay.
Love it, love it. So, ladies, dream dresses. Right, these don't have to be, I'm not talking dreamy as in floaty, dreamy, and you're like, oh, I can't stand the thought of anything floaty and dreamy. It's never going to get me in one of those. But it's really talking about your dream dress. Do you have a style that absolutely works on you? If you find a dress that works perfectly, you're going to love it forever and ever. The things you need to think about are the length. You know, you don't want any, I mean, maxis are great, but midis are great. But if you want a midi, you want it to have a bit of leg showing. So if you're like me and you're a little bit vertically challenged, you might buy a midi and it actually looks like a maxi, but it just doesn't hang properly. You just have to have it taken up, I'm afraid, or look for a short. That's as far as it goes. You know, or wear a really big heel, but not many of us wear that. I mean, I do, obviously, but not all of us wear a big heel anymore. So please think about the length. Think about the proportions, exactly as Jazz said. If you have a very long body and you know, so if you're very low-waisted, you might find that the waist comes up to here, and it's like that just gives you lots and lots and lots of body below it. You might need to think about lowering your waist a bit so that it gives you an even length here, and then when you look down to the floor, it's more even. Does that make sense to anybody, or would you like a bit of a demonstration of that? Okay, that's great. So think about the pattern. Again, think about your scale. If you're a petite, you want a smaller pattern. If you're a grande, you want a bigger pattern. So you don't want anything to completely overpower you. And definitely think about your colour palette. I'm going to show you my forever dress. Lots and lots. Anybody that's met me in person, lots of you will have seen me in this dress. It is this mint velvet dress.
Oh.
Absolutely my favourite dress in the world. And actually, because I love it so much, I've got it in 3 other colours as well. In other colours. Because there is nothing, first of all, there's nothing I couldn't wear this dress to. I could wear this dress shopping. I could wear this dress to the races. I could wear this dress to go out for dinner. I wear it networking, as lots of you will know. It's got a sheerness to it. So whilst it's being petite, it's got quite a lot of material, but it doesn't overpower me because it's sheer. So you can see through it. I have a really low waist. And so this waist lifts my waist up. And so it hangs from the right place. Oh, I'm just going to pull to my earrings, ladies. Nearly had a disaster then. It's got a high-low hem. That's what we call a high-low hem. I'm really short, so it shows a fair amount of my legs off, but it's not a short dress because I'm not so keen on short ones on me. And it just feels lovely. The material's nice. It cost me about £130. Now, to me, that's quite a lot. You know, I didn't always, before I bought that dress, is nearly 5 years old. Before I bought that, I probably wouldn't have necessarily spent a lot of money on a dress, because I think, well, I'll just wear it once. I must have worn that dress 150 times. Think of cost per wear. How I've worn it with trainers. I wear it with, you know, I've worn it with these.
Oh, they're nice.
They are. They're cute. Pre-loved again. Pre-loved. But you can wear, you know, you can dress, if you've got a dress that you can dress up and down, you will love it forever. Gisela, you've been wearing a really lovely dress. I've seen you in it a couple of times now, and you definitely wore it to the Caversham meeting last time. And it shows your figure off. It looked amazing. The colour was fantastic. And does it make you feel really good when you wear it?
Yes. I hate it when it goes in the wash.
You hate it when it goes in the wash?
Because it's not there as an option.
That's why I bought a few in that one. You know, every time they brought a new colour out, I'm like, oh my God, I've got over it now, and they've changed their styles now. But a dress can make you feel $1 million. And the best thing about a dress is you can just put it on and you don't have to worry about finding something that goes with it. It's not like a top or trousers or a skirt. You just put it on, it's done, you're out the door. So definitely think about finding your forever dress. Okay, winter whites now. April, I want you to tell me the rule about white, not wearing white after Labor Day. And I don't even really know what Labor Day is.
It's very old fashioned, but there used to be a rule in Canada, particularly, that you couldn't wear white before the 24th of May holiday, which was when they celebrate Queen Victoria's birthday. So that's a bank holiday. And then you couldn't wear white after Labor Day. So after the Labor Day was generally the first, it always is the first Monday in September. I think they've loosened up a little bit, but it's so stuck in my head.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Whenever I think of summer whites, did I say winter whites? Whenever I think of summer whites, I always think of that rule. I've never quite worked it out, which is which. So basically, from May to September, you're allowed to wear white, but you're not allowed to wear it September to May.
Yes, basically. I'm sure that they've loosened up a little bit now. It's
I hope so.
When I was a kid, but yeah.
And that's why April moved over to the UK 30 years ago. But winter whites, now white, pure white, is not very flattering on most people. In fact, white in general can be a bit wishy-washy. So I want you to think about white, are beautiful. I love wearing white, but think about putting a bit of colour with it. So we now come on to shiny. I love a bit of shiny, but you know, it doesn't have to just be for going out. I mean, we've got that fabulous pleated skirt again there. You know, you could put that with some, well, how about with some of those trainers like that, you know, and maybe just a jumper, one of those lightweight knits over it. But okay, you're probably not going to wear this Karen Millen dress during the day. And the Stella McCartney trousers. Okay, would anybody wear those? No. April, I know you love a bit of Stella.
Maybe.
Who said maybe? Oh,
me, maybe.
No, not creative at all, are you?
Not at all.
I love Stella, but don't know what she was doing there.
Yeah, she was having a moment, I think, wasn't she? But these gold boots, I would wear with every single summer dress, like my forever dress. I would so wear those with it just to give it a bit more style. Metallic crossbody bag or a metallic handbag, you know, gold will go with a light gold or a silver, if depending on your color palette, will go with everything. So just bring a bit of brightness, and when you're in the sun it will shine. If you're used to wearing dark boots and you're like, well, I still want to wear boots, but all my colors are spring colors now, something like a gold pair of boots will go with every single spring outfit that you own. So change those chunky black boots to a pair of shiny boots. And now we go on to mixing patterns. Now, As a classic, you're very unlikely to want to mix your patterns. As a creative, well, let's not talk to Terry about mixing patterns. She's the queen of doing things like that. There are some rules, ladies. Now, you see this River Island one up here? You might go, well, unless you're a creative or potentially dramatic, you'll go, no, I'm not going to wear that. But it kind of works because the size of the pattern is the same. The colour is not in the same colour family in any way, shape or form, but the size of those patterns is similar. So that's why that gets away with that. When you look at this dress below, the River Island dress, it's the same pattern, but it's in different colours. So you can mix those patterns because they fit into that. When you look at this, I'm not sure that is mixing patterns. I think that's more mixing colours. But if you look at this, the colours are all kind of in the same family. They're all slightly warm, slightly, these have got a small pattern here and a small pattern here, and then the dark pattern is there. It blends quite nicely, doesn't it? Talking about makeup, skincare, and just lightening everything for summer. So we've gone through all the trends. I just want to talk to you a little bit about moving into the summer and what you can be doing. So first off, coming spring, summer, we can get a bit, and I think we've all said, we probably understand, a bit sweaty. So your skin is probably going to be sweating a bit more. You must keep it super, super clean. Jazz is an expert on all of these things, but keeping your skin really clean, because if it's dirty and you're sweating, your pores are opening and all the free radicals, etc., are going to be going into your body. That's when you're going to have breakouts. That's when your skin is going to feel a bit claggy. Also lightening your skincare a bit. I find that wearing a heavy night cream is not, in the warm weather, that feels really uncomfortable. I hope you're nodding with me, Jazz, because I'm not an expert on this, but I've done lots of research. So think about that. Think about a good cleanser, maybe cleansing, toning. Always using an eye cream, of course, but maybe thinking about a lighter day cream. And the one thing you have to think about is sunscreen. Yeah. Make sure it's the first product you put on, because if you think you put on a foundation, and your foundation's got a factor 50 in it, and then you put on, a factor 15 in it, and then you put something else on that's got a factor 40 in it. Well, you're only getting the factor 15 because that's what's next to your skin. So don't be fooled by a foundation or a moisturizer. If you also the other way around, if your moisturizer's got a factor 15 and your foundation's got a factor 40, you're not getting factor 40, you're getting factor 15, because that's the first thing that went on your face. So please, some of us are old enough to remember the song which is wear a sunscreen. So wear your sunscreen. How about thinking about your perfume at this time of year? Every time I go on holiday, at the duty free or on the airport plane, I always buy a new fragrance and I wear it all of that holiday. Every single time I put that fragrance on, it transports me back to that holiday. This was my honeymoon. I think it's about 16 or 17 years ago. My husband knows I can't ever remember the date. He had to put it in my calendar so that I would take on my phone. But this fragrance, this is a Dior. Every time I put it on, it just transports me there. This Dolce & Gabbana, this light blue, it is the summeriest fragrance ever. It just takes me to summer lands, holidays. It's just beautiful. So why not think about finding a fragrance that absolutely lifts your heart and makes you feel like you're in a nice light environment. Went a bit woo-woo there, but you know what I mean. It can lift your mood. Fragrance lifts your mood.
Oh yeah.
It really does. So makeup wise, you know what? You might not want to go too mad on makeup in the summer. One thing I definitely want to suggest to you is, this is what I do, and this is what I suggest to my makeup clients, is in the winter, you probably want a heavier foundation. I don't mean a heavy foundation, but you want something that probably has a little bit more coverage. This is the Colour Me Beautiful Light Diffusing foundation, and I have this in a porcelain because in the winter, I'm usually quite pale. The other product you need is a tinted moisturizer, which this is. Now, I have this in the light to medium, because in the summer, I want a lighter coverage, but I've probably got a bit of a tan, so I need a slightly darker colour. In the autumn and in the spring, I mix them together because I'm still a bit pale, just starting to get a tan. And in the autumn, I might have a tan and then coming out of it. So these two products are the best kind of things. So you want a heavier foundation with a lighter colour and a lighter tinted moisturiser with a darker colour. Makes sense? Simple, really. In the summer, I'm not really one for wearing a full lipstick. If you do, why not think about either lightening or brightening, getting some gorgeous colours into your lipsticks. There we go. Look at those. Aren't they beautiful? And again, think about your undertone. Super, super important with lipsticks. But for me, I quite like just a lip pencil. I'm going to demonstrate this. I'm going to try and demonstrate this, ladies. I've got gallery on, so I can only see that. So lip pencil. All the way there. And then I turn it over and I colour my lips in. Like that. And then I just use a gorgeous lip gloss because it makes me feel a bit brighter. It looks gorgeous in the sun. This is called Mango. Again, it's from the Colour Me Beautiful range. And just over that. And I think that looks really pretty. I think it just lifts me from wearing that winter lipstick that can be quite matte and a bit heavier with heavier makeup. So maybe just think about updating. Sorry, I can't stop looking at Talia on Terry's lap. So maybe just think about updating your makeup, updating your skincare. It's the perfect time of year to be doing that.